To the video and the verses for or the verse today, and how it applies and how those principles I would like to incorporate into my life, is Fred lived out his job by going above and beyond, thinking 3 steps ahead of the situation within the job accountabilities he was it applied to him as a mailman. His principles were to discuss and then offer, as well as gestures of goodwills toward fellow men and his route of work. And to incorporate that into my life, I have to say I already kind of sort of do this. Not perfectly. I mean, I'm still working on that. Now it's really funny that mine also deals with a mailman in my personal world because, well, his name's Mr. J. And let me just paint the picture for you. I live on 20 acres of dirt, which means 1 acre, 40,000 square feet. And to multiply that by 20 is a lot of dirt. And there is 2 permanent homes on the plot of land. My home is in the southwest corner, and my uncle's house is in the southeast corner, and my uncle's house is in the northwest corner. And there's a lot of space in between. So with that being said, the same mailman for 35 plus years has been delivering our mail. So he knows exactly whose box is whose, even though it has the same address. It's a, Unit A, Unit B situation. And he knows who goes where. And if something doesn't fit in the mailbox, he makes the half-mile drive down the long, bumpy dirt road to deliver it to either my uncle or myself or my family. Now, this road's not always in perfect conditions. Thoughtful to say the least, Mr. J is pretty much gives the same description. Like, he is working his job, he's doing it, but you can tell he has another principle behind him. And maybe it's just being a good human, or maybe it is connected to faith. In the 30 years I've known the guy, he's always acted on the more faithful end than anything else. And so rain, shine, and long dirt roads, he's been able to deliver the mail. So one day we had a substitute mailman that tried his best. My mail ended up in my uncle's box, my uncle's box's mail, my uncle's mail ended up in my box, and then my package got delivered to the neighbor's house that's 80 acres away and has a completely different address. So I had to go out and do the bait and switch pretty much. I had to go ask for my mails, switch that with my uncle, and then go see if my stuff got delivered to the other house. So when I did that, I just finished, and then here comes Mr. J down the road. And he's like, he inquired about his sub. He's like, how did he do? And I was like, Mr. J, he just couldn't get it right. He tried, but he didn't get it right. And I said, now I've learned one thing from you in all the years I've known you since I was a kid. And he said, what's that? And I said, knowing people is the most important thing you can bring into your adult life, and especially into education. Call a kid by the wrong name, they look at you funny. And he goes, well, right. He goes, if I don't know my people, how do I know where to deliver the mail? They're not just a number on the route. I was like, well, aren't they just numbers on routes? He goes, no. And he showed me his little map. And he literally marked where boxes are on the route, like the mailboxes, and actually put like what names go to those boxes. And every time someone would move, he would take out the name, or he'd redo his map or something, because it actually states, the last names of who goes to what box. And it's not just the address numbers, because out where I live, some people have the same address and there's multiple homes on one plot of land. So just knowing people is something you can incorporate, and that is part of not just living for yourself or just working for the man or living for man, is very much incorporating faith. And it's something that I try to do. In education, you got to walk on eggshells, and you got to give it the golden rule status. You got to say it in a very generalized manner, but your actions without words sometimes speaks your volumes. So knowing your people, that's what I'm going to go with. That's a principle that I've learned to fit into my life and try to incorporate into everything I know.